I want to say a few words about this week's Torah portion. Um, Frankly, Riley's been through quite enough to have to give the sermon tonight. He's had his bar mitzvah moved here, his bar mitzvah moved there. We're going to be reading a couple of passages tomorrow. We're going to be hearing some from this week's Parashat Tetzaveh. We'll also be hearing some from Beshalach, which was his originally scheduled Torah portion, but a beautiful story in its own right, and one that has a lot of personal meaning for Riley, as you'll hear about tomorrow. So I'm going to just say a couple of words about Tetzaveh. So you can hear about Beshalach tomorrow, or as the sages call it, Tetzaveh, Fashion Week. This is Fashion Week here in the Torah. Last time we talked about, it was Parashat Trumah, and this was that was more of a home improvement show, I want to say. There was a lot of things that the people were instructed to get together in order to build the Mishkan. And our wonderful adult B'nai Mitzvah class, 9 different people looked at this and took something completely different away from it. But all of them noticed the fine level of detail that was specified in building the Mishkan. It takes special attention. It takes scrutiny. It takes care to build something that's going to hold not just the presence of God, but the diverse people who God wants to be present with. This week we shift to the special clothing of the priests. And it's sort of a piece. I mean, if you've got a building, you need a uniform. It's not just the decoration on the outside, but the decoration of the people who are in charge of the service. And it goes into just as fine a level of detail, specifying colors for this and colors for that and measurements for this, and little bells around the fringes of their tunics, and a special kind of hat with a plate on it. And it's such that you can read this and reconstruct the entire outfit. And I've seen various paintings and things where just from the text, it's so specific that multiple people have designed these outfits, and they all look largely similar because it's so specific. Why go to all the trouble? I mean, these are folks who've been roughing it for a while, right? As we read about in Parashat Yitro, when the people who were about to receive the 10 Commandments, they were told to wash their clothes ahead of time. And it said that the change was so drastic because they've been going through the desert that all their clothes appeared white, and that's why we eat blintzes on Shavuot. But that's a different story. Everybody looks tired. Everybody looks kind of schmutzy, right? They've been through a lot together over the course of several months. Isn't it enough that the priest just stands up, just does his job? That's special. I mean, there's lots of animals involved. There's gold dishes. Isn't that enough to ask of someone? Why make him dress up? Why make him stand out? Everybody's going to respect him just the same. In fact, that's part of the question that the sages ask about this is, why does a priest need special clothes? And some say it's so that the people know he's special, right? So that the people there's a sense of dignity when you've got somebody representing you to God and they are the nicest dressed person there, right? This shows a kind of reverence to God, does it not? It shows a reverence to the people. When the person who's supposed to represent them puts his suit on, right? Puts a tie on, puts a turban and bells around his thing. You know that you're in the middle of something wonderful, and you know that you're loved as a people when God wants your representative to look nice. What I'm drawn to is the opinion of the sages who say that it's not for God and it's not for the people, it's for the priest. It's for the priest to know how special he is, because being a priest is hard. I've heard. I'm not one myself. I'm good for teaching and high shelves and pickle jars myself. But being a priest seems like a very difficult job. Not only are you going through the same slog that everybody else is, but on Shabbos and holidays, you have to get up and perform a holy service. And I bet there are some days they just did not feel like it, right? That they went to get the knives and get the fire pans together, and they might have said, I wish I wasn't a Cohen. But putting on the suit, putting on the hat, hearing the tinkling of the bells as you wrap up in your tunic, probably made one person at least one day say, all right, I don't feel like it, but this is for them. And this is for the Holy One. And these clothes make me feel like I'm up to it. So I'm going to fake it till I make it. And that's going to be good enough. For me, this is intimately connected to the mitzvah of honoring Shabbat. Right? We remember the Sabbath day, we protect the Sabbath day, we delight in the Sabbath day, and the fourth thing is we honor the Sabbath day. This comes from a passage in Yeshayahu, in the book of Isaiah, where it says you should honor the Sabbath day. And in the Shulchan Aruch, when it's unpacking the different, actually, I think it's Rambam, it's Mishnah Torah, when Rambam is unpacking the different mitzvot of Shabbat and putting them into the categories, is this honor? Is this protection? Is this delight? When he's talking about honoring the Sabbath, he says, honor the Sabbath, get dressed, right? Put out your nice stuff. Put out the towels that are for company, as my mom used to have. You put on your nice stuff. That's how you honor the Sabbath. And then when this is unpacked in the Shulchan Aruch and in the later law code of, again, merely 500 years ago, they asked this question, which today still stirs me in its humanity. Right? It says you should have a different beged for Shabbat, a different garment, right? Don't wear the same stuff on Shabbat that you wear every other day, but you should don a different garment that's just dedicated for Shabbat, right? And they said, well, what if I don't have anything nice? This is the law wasn't made for saints and it wasn't made for the elite. It was made for all of us. What if I don't have anything nice? It doesn't have to be as nice. Just be different. Just recognize the moment. And then somebody asked the question, what if all I have is what's on my back? And then I think it's the Chofetz Chaim commenting on this, or the Mishnah Berurah, rather. That's what they call him when he's talking about the Shulchan Aruch. Says, if you only have one garment to your name, go like this, or straighten it up, or do something. Just make it different. Shabbat is for everybody. And you don't have to have the silver-plated stuff. You don't have to have the big home that can accommodate everybody. Everybody can participate. Everybody can make one move to make it feel different. Not just because Shabbat is worth it, not just because God is worth it, because every one of you is worth it. So my hope for you, and maybe you can take advantage of this right now or maybe after the service, do something small. Do something, maybe put on a hat. We were doing that for Purim. Maybe get a nicer surgical mask. I don't know. Just do something small to make tonight feel special, because it is. Do something small to make yourself feel worth it, because you are. And I hope you never forget it. Shabbat Shalom, and thank you for joining us here at PJTC